and today I'm going to tell you my story on how I almost lost money on a used car purchase and ways you could avoid doing the same thing. And before we get started, I just want everybody to know that this vehicle is sponsored by CarFox, which is a leading brand for VIN checks to find out the hidden secrets of your vehicle. To ensure that the vehicle you're buying is 100% what you expect, you can trust CarFox. So in March, I had my eyes on a 2020 Jaguar E-Pace, which to me was a beautiful luxury SUV. Things seemed well, and I bought it. After saving tons of money for a nice vehicle like that, I was pretty happy, and soon things started to tear apart and I saw the true colors of this vehicle. Having seen reviews for Jaguar vehicles and knowing that the vehicles are not so reliable, I made sure that the vehicle would have warranty. Upon leaving a lot, everything was okay. For the past few days, I noticed a slight rattle coming from underneath the car. So knowing I had warranty, I head into a dealership for an inspection. After a couple hours, nothing was found, and the dealership suggested I take a loaner home. And they investigate further, and unfortunately, it doesn't get better. 2 days passed and nothing. Have not heard anything from the dealership. So I called the dealership and asked on the status of the vehicle. And they said they ordered a part from what I think was a heat shield. They had taken 1 week for it to get installed. And so when they came to the day where I picked up my vehicle, they told me everything should be all right now. And it was for 2 days. The sound of rattling stayed, but only when it first started. So I brought it back and they put me in a loaner again. I waited this time about 2 weeks. They ordered a couple parts, fixed a couple things. I took the car back. Things seemed okay, and once again, after a while, it started happening again. So that kept happening for about 2 to 3 months, which was terrible. I couldn't even enjoy my vehicle. Another thing that happened was I was on a trip. This is when I actually got the vehicle back. I went on a trip to the States. I was in New York State, and my engine started overheating. Didn't know what to do, didn't know where to go. I shut my engine off, waited 30 minutes, started back on. It ran good. I brought it straight back to the dealership when I got home. They took it in. 2 days later, they said nothing's wrong with the vehicle. Doesn't make sense to me. Something was clearly wrong with the vehicle. It's overheating. It's telling me it's overheating. It's visually, seemingly overheating. So they said it was all right. I went home. I said, look, if something happens, I'm towing it in. After that, things just kept going wrong and wrong and wrong. It was just too much work for me. Eventually, I found out the vehicle was involved in 2 accidents. I think that was like $7,000 in damages, which could have been the result of some issues regarding, I had some issues with the fog lights flickering and some sensors in the front. That's probably from the accidents, but that was my bad for not checking that. After a few weeks passed, I started getting tired of this. This has been 7 months into ownership. I've been at the dealership most of the time of this. I've been in loaners. I've not been in my own car for almost 7 months. I've only had my car 1 month out of those 7, probably. And eventually I kind of gave up, traded it in, got my Mercedes. Car's been amazing since then. Unfortunately, the car wasn't for me. The Jaguar was not for me. Too many issues, too much maintenance needed. And I think that car should have been lemon lawed. That is my honest opinion on that. So the ways you could prevent yourself from experiencing this is always get a vehicle history report. It will tell you a detailed history of what happened to this vehicle, what it's been through, what has changed on it, and how much it costed. Other things you could do is a simple inspection of the vehicle. Send the vehicle to an inspection place, maybe its own dealership, so they could certify that this vehicle is safe to drive and is mechanically in shape. Other things you could do is a visual inspection from yourself. Go down on the floor, look underneath, take a simple peek underneath. If you see anything bent, riddled, anything that looks damaged, notify the seller. The seller should know about these issues, and the seller should show you the history of this vehicle or what has happened to this vehicle, etc. So I knew somebody, he bought a 1996 Acura Integra. It was a similar case to mine. He went actually with a mechanic, well, a so-called mechanic, and they went to inspect the vehicle, and the mechanic deemed that there was no issues with the vehicle and it was an easy fix because the vehicle was not perfect. It had simple body issues. Sure. But upon bringing the car home, we noticed rust holes, electrical issues, possible engine issues, tons of problems that weren't worth the money he paid for it, neither the money he left on it. And he actually ended up losing on this vehicle, which is the worst situation financially you could end up in with a vehicle. Always bring somebody you trust for a vehicle inspection. Or even better, send it to a designated location. You will get it inspected. You will get a certification if the vehicle is in ship shape. Another way you can prevent yourself from suffering an issue is buy an OBD scanner. Scan the car's computers. The car's computers will only go off if there's something malfunctioning. If you see issues with the engine, the powertrain, things like that, always notify the owner and judge by that. Should I buy this vehicle? Should I spend this money? Is it worth it? Check the market on these vehicles. Make sure is the vehicle you want and the vehicle you want to pay for. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share for more content.